What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Sunday, Eagles just put it down on the Chiefs. And we're going to be talking about, not this thing. We're not going to be talking about that today. We're going to be talking about who wants to be an All-Star. I love being an All-Star. So, this is the new Flopack All-Star chassis. I threw it together real quick. Actually had a mishap. This is our new 4mm 4K carbon fiber. There's a new process we did on this. So there's some carbon fiber that I just cut here. So that process is done, gentlemen. You know when you get carbon fiber and it's real grainy, because it had just been cut. So we do this new thing. My neighbor, who builds custom parts for Can-Am buggies, he does carbon fiber dashes and he makes custom carbon fiber pieces. And he said, "Why don't you slow cure, gel coat your carbon fiber?" And what that does is all the edges, instead of, remember a long time ago, we'd put glue on here. Every edge inside here, every hole, it sits in this stuff for 48 hours. These ones I actually did in about 32 hours because I wanted to show you, but they came out good still. It seeps into the carbon fiber itself, and it makes it, even if you scratch it, you're not going to get down past it. It puts a coat, kind of like an epoxy. It's a gel coat. So everything's shiny, everything looks good. This is our brace. So there's a couple reasons I went with this chassis. And guys, you guys know, I'm not like a huge drag guy. I used to dabble in it a little bit. This chassis, the other day, I had it out and I did 1.7 with the GNSS. First time out. I was using BSR purples, put down minimal prep. And I got a hold of my dude, Ian Mahalik, the GOAT of drag racing. And I started changing things around. These ones weren't going to cut it because the last one that I hit a UPS truck in, these were bending. Couldn't have that. And the reason is, you guys may be wondering, well, where's the battery trays on these? I don't see any battery trays for it. I don't understand where the battery trays are. These are the battery trays. The battery trays are up on top. So get you a nice good Saga Kevlar strap. You just put that through here. That's what all these cuts are here for on the Bars and Stripes All-Star chassis. And these are 5,000 Turnigy 5000 4S, as you can see, 5 wires. There's also some 4S. Depends what brand you get, you know. You can either take them like this, put all the weight in the front if you would like, if your batteries are small enough. I know a lot of guys are using HRP and Z and other brands. They're cheap, and I guess they do good. I've never personally tried them, but I might have to after getting some good information from my guy, the GOAT. But take one battery here, strap it down. Take another battery, put it on the back. If you're just running the 4S class, perfect. You got one battery. Now, 90% of all bodies, I've tested this with the Delta Plastic FC100, the Porsche, the GT1, I believe it is, the Jag, and the Dome. The Dome has a bigger dome on top. So I'll put the other battery on there so you can see. But the reason we did it is this is all wasted space up here in this whole bubble. Instead of putting them off to the side or wherever, they're all up here in the bubble. There's just wasted space. So you take your two batteries. And when we did this, I found 5,000s that are pretty much, these Turnigys are the widest 4S basically you can get, unless you go 4S 2P. But I don't know many people running these big batteries in drag racing. They're just so heavy, 4S 2P. These ones sit a little higher, so your if you do decide to run something like this, the back of your body's going to sit up a little higher. If you run these 4S 1P, it's exactly the size of your body mount. So your body, and I'll show you, will sit flush, almost to the ground. So there's the front end, there's the back end. So the back, all the way down right there, just enough for a finger, and the front's actually not. The front finger won't go in, back finger will, but there you go. That's with two 4S batteries, 8S. Take the other straps, you put them in the back right here, and you strap this thing down. Make sure to not put it around your drive shaft. We're going to have some optional parts for this car as well. Front splitter with the front steering, that's going to be an option. It's not going to come with this one. This is just for the top brace, the bottom brace, and the two shock towers, two Flopack shock towers. As you can see, got the front shock tower there, and we got the rear shock tower there. We're going to have, like I said, the front splitter with the steering servo sitting sideways instead of straight up and down. I know some people run them just like this in the front. We're going to have ours laid down so that way your body can tuck real nice. And I feel like it's got a little more juice that way, and you're not relying so much on this kind of power. It's going to eventually, like this, it's going to be firmly in place and it won't wobble at all. So that's why we're doing that. Also, not sure what battery or what GSC you guys are going to be using. An XLX2 will fit right up in there without the fan. You can even bring the wire straight through if you want, through the chassis. Just like that, and bring it up in there under the chassis. There you go, it's tucked up in there. So if you want your XLX2 to sit sideways like this, we have a mounting system that's coming out. My neighbor's actually making that out of hand forged carbon fiber, so it'll be custom. This one will fit under there pretty much all the way in there without the fan if you're running an X8 or Mamba Monster 8S. Now, I've heard a lot of talking lately about the chassis, the brace, and whatnot, so we wanted to make sure that it was perfect everywhere. There's no sag. I'll show you guys right now. There's no flex. It's perfectly straight across. There's no resistance. It's smooth as butter. Very smooth. So with the batteries being like this, as long as they are, and you can put them as far forward as you want. You can put them way up here if you want to. It don't matter. If you want more forward weight, you just move the batteries forward. That way you don't have to put a bunch of weight on your car in the front. So I'm just going to take these out right now just so you can see. Get them out of the way. The steering servo, we recommend that you use a low profile or flat steering servo. Something like these here. Flat straight across, not one that comes up and over. You can do that, but it's going to be close. See how close that is? You're dealing with 7mm right there. So with it flat like this, normal servos, no problem. Fits perfect, snugs in there. Everything's snug inside the chassis. Like I said, we will have the front splitter. Flopack stars and bars, guys. Allstar chassis. These bars here, so like I said, with the original one, there was a lot of flex. Now you won't get these because we made these. And with doing that, that makes it so you can get your screws in and out of your chassis. So I think it turned out killer. Real good. I like it. Everything's smooth. It's made with good carbon fiber. One thing I wanted to suggest is on my Speedrun chassis, this will also be a star bar chassis, Allstar. This other brace, I'm going to be taking these off since I said this brace right here was made for one XLX and it's the only one I had at the time. So I'm going to be replacing it with that. Let's put it up like that so you can see. Put that in there and then we'll be able to mount these in here better. That'll sit there. But what I was going to get at is Power Hobby makes this piece right here. It's a brace adapter, I guess it's called, and it's made for their diff cases. There's a gap right there and they do sit forward, so I had to modify my brace to fit in here. If you guys are running this aftermarket part, a regular brace, even a VTE brace, will not work. So I personally, I bought it and I don't need it. I don't think. I'll just run the plastic one. It's fine with me. If you guys want to get this, you might have to do some modifications there, because as you can see, there's a gap between there. Right here, see that? There's a gap. And it'll basically, it's about that much. So if you want to get to sanding and try to get it to work with these, if not, just use the stock one. It comes right off your diff with 2 screws. So there's my Speedrun chassis. This will be the Flopack Speedrun chassis. As you can see, very little air coming through. We tried to get rid of any spots with air, front to back. I mean, that's tight. Made it wider here, which is fine, because on Speedrun, it's going to hit the arms a little bit in the back, but that's fine because it's high enough in the back. Let's see if we can get down low. See how high it is in the back compared to the front? Plenty high enough. So that's why that was made like that. But these will be our Allstar chassis, Speedrun and drag race. Like I said, I'm not a speedrun guy or a drag race guy. I'm starting to get into it. So when I made these passes, I called my boy Ian and said, hey man, what am I doing here? I'm doing 1.7. I'm running BSR purples. I still had the 40-15 diff gears in there. And he said, well, first off, you got to get rid of that. And he told me a couple other tips to get, like the 5.3 millimeter dog bones in the front. Sorry. In the front, we got the 5.3 millimeter Hobaos and the 5.0s in the back, dog bones. The right cups to get, the diff gears to get, and now I got orange and red BSRs, which are super soft. And we're going to see if I can't break into the 1.6s, 1.5s. And like I said, I'm not a seasoned drag guy. I've done it. I used to go to the drag show once in a while, but it wasn't like every weekend doing it all the time stuff. This is goat juice made by Ian. It's the best of the best, guys. This stuff is top notch in my opinion. So I have that on stock too if you guys need it. It's the best of the best. But this chassis will be on the website tonight. Stars and bars. The bottom brace matches the bottom chassis. And it just works, man. It's just real clean. It works. Got the gears, got our spool in there. Everything's just smooth. We've got the Power Hobby titanium dog bones in there. And like I said, there's no resistance whatsoever. There's no bulging or bending and no flop with this chassis. It's stout 4 millimeter carbon fiber. Not going to have any issues. Guys, I recommend, though, getting some good Kevlar straps like Saga's. What happens with carbon fiber? There's some sharp edges. I'm sure you can get in there with some files, clean it up, you know, but if you're not using something like this and you're using cheap battery straps, they're going to break. Also, get you good gears, get you good, you know, everything. But if I haven't said already, big shout out to all the guys that helped me. There's a couple drag racers out there that really helped me design this and helped me to get it all figured out. Like I said, I'm coming from the speed world. Ian, you've been incredible, man, and I really appreciate everything you do, bro. So hopefully we can get this thing in the 1.5s and maybe lower than that. It looks good. It handles good. I like it, guys. So the Allstar chassis. As far as wheelie bar goes, I was going to make wheelie bars, but honestly, there's so many options out there. You can go through Nick Steele, makes a good wheelie bar, Power Hobby, and all of them, they're copies of each other. Not saying that Nick or anybody copied anybody. I'm just saying all wheelie bars are pretty much the same, right? I've seen guys with totally different type wheelie bars, but all in all, they're all carbon fiber. And Power Hobby has a great 18-inch wheelie bar, and that's what I was told to get, is an 18-inch. And so that's when I'm going to be running the Power Hobby 18-inch wheelie bar. Some of the fastest told me it works really good. You can even change out the back piece. They have a different wheel for it. It's like it's got a skinnier wheel, and it's like $30, so you can change that piece out instead of the wider wheel. But if you guys want that, you can go through Power Hobby, or maybe I might stock them for the chassis. When I was making my passes, I was using this old school one that I got from some of the Puerto Rican dudes back in the day. And it works. It's just very heavy. Very heavy. So I don't think that's beneficial. But it's long and it works perfect. So I have no complaints about how it was working yesterday. Or 2 days ago, sorry. But yeah, it works good. It's just very heavy. It's also bent up pretty good because when I hit that UPS truck, I kind of mangled it a little bit. But the carbon fiber actually held good except for the battery strap on the top. And that's why we put the extra braces in there. So as far as the top brace though, I've had guys tell me, out of the several drag guys, a couple guys said they like them to have a little flex in them, flop. I don't like that. I like them to be perfectly straight. I don't want them to be tight. But if so, I took the screw out purposely to show you guys. There's room in there. We made it oblong, so that way if you want to squeeze it together and tighten it down, go for it. But there you go. So the chassis will come with the bottom chassis. And it'll come with the top brace. And it'll come with the front and rear shock tower. So see you guys later. Stay safe. I hope you enjoy it. I'm thinking about only making 50 of them. So peep it out, guys. Stay safe. God bless. I'm out.